But each time I'm taking the decision, what factors are influencing me, the guy who's seeing the final effect has no way of knowing that. That's the same even for good films also, you know, or bad films also.
What about Nishabd?
Nishabd. See, Nishabd is something which one day I just went to meet Mr. Bachchan for something, and he was telling me about this film Chinikam. So I said, this is about an older man falling in love with a young girl. I said, who's the girl? I said, he said, Tabu. I said, no, Tabu is not young, I said. So what do you mean? I said, young means she should be very young. She shouldn't be more than maybe 18, you know. I said, a man is attracted to the youth of a woman, no matter what age is. His body might fail him, you know. There's basic desire for that would be towards youth. And if you make a film on that, that's what is the origin of Nishabd was. Now in the course of making it, okay, the point is if an incident like this happens and a man got swayed for whatever that time period, he lost his senses and before he could come back. It's never meant to be like a story or a plot or anything. I just wanted to go through that with that emotion. But once the film got over, I was quite taken aback with the negative reactions. Like one woman was so upset with the film in that scene when Jia plays footsie with Bachchan under the dining table. And I thought it was very cute. That's what I thought when I was making it. And she felt, how can he do that in front of his wife? She identified herself with the woman. Yeah. I think we didn't realize, well, maybe me and Anija are immoral people at the back of our hearts, so possibly we didn't realize. But I would, irrespective of the box office fate of the film, I personally think it's one of my best works.
I definitely think it is forgivable if he actually made love to Jia. Because you can't fall in love easily, but probably you can go to bed and finish the relationship. Anyway, are you guys ready with your questions? You all have been very heartily laughing at all his jokes and participating in his anecdotes. Now let's show him how intelligent you are. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, without a doubt, I like the book more. For a period of certain time when the art of filmmaking per se, in terms of the creation of scenes or characters, the way they're introduced, many of my filmmaking techniques I've learned from Godfather. And as an emotional experience, if you ask me, when I'm purely, yeah. When did I think? See, I've been a very, very hardcore, for want of any word, film buff ever since I was a kid. I would say almost, there's this uncle of mine, my mother's brother, who just had this strange habit of, he has to watch films only if someone else is accompanying him. And even when I was a kid, he was around 20 years old, he used to take me when I was 6, 7 years old. I don't know for what reason, you know. So he kind of got me addicted to films at that point of time. So I used to, almost by the time I reached my engineering, I used to watch some 7 to 8 films in theatres, and that's the only thing I used to do. I used to go to college. So I think over a period of time I started developing this habit of narrating the stories of the films I saw to my friends. And many of them were so impressed with my narration. They used to go and they used to tell me that your narration is better than that film. So I think slowly over a period of time it started developing the desire. And if you really want to know, obviously the time is limited here, you should go to my blog. I've written a long piece on that, rgvzooming.com. There I clearly mentioned how I got my break and everything. Yeah. See, I think guts and stupidity have a very thin line. You know, it's a question of, you know, for you, because you like it, you think it's guts. For lots of people who didn't like it, they think I'm stupid. Fine. See, but I got your question. See, at the end of the day, a film is like a conversation. You know, if I strongly feel about something, if I desire to share that particular feeling of mine, I'll just go ahead and make the film. So I really not even wish up than any other film for the matter. I never thought about what people will say or do. And as long as you can take a decision and you're ready to bear the consequences, you can pretty much do anything in life.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you one question.
See, you live in this management Shamlan, right? Yeah. Now, I really don't see the connection so much between Shamlan and Sarkar Raj, per se, you know. But the point is, there is a story, okay, and there is the way you tell the story. Most of my films, I get it from one basic idea in which I keep on developing in a natural course of how it progresses, and I never look at it like a plot structure. I never look at it, how do you weave the screenplay. I pretty much put it as simple as if I am trying to tell a story to you, if I'm sitting here and talking to you. So I think the core of it is in the first idea which comes out. For example, let's say Satya. I was sitting in somebody's home and we just got news that Goshen Kumar has been killed. You know? Now I met him just barely once or twice. I don't know him that well. And the person sitting with me was saying, he got up at 7 o'clock in the morning and then he had his this and he had his breakfast and he spoke to me around 8:30 and then he left here. He had this habit of recounting the details of a man when it meets a violent death like an accident or a murder or something like that. So it's a funny thought occurred to me, what was the killer doing in the intercuts? At what time did the killer wake up? You know, just cinematically thinking. So we have his breakfast before killing Gulshan Kumar, after killing Gulshan Kumar. Then it struck me, we always hear about them either when they die or when they kill. So what did they do in between? So that is the germ of Satya to start with. After that, pretty much, if whatever film starts like this, what will happen in the second scene? What will happen in the third scene? I keep on making it up and I never think of it in a very linear level or a plot line level as a story, which is also the reason why many of my films don't work.
Well, sir, I agree with you that you two are two different filmmakers. What I tried to do was compliment you with the seamless.
If you look at it, what was Aishwarya doing? She was just talking about a project. Even in the end scene, when she says a child out, she's actually looking at the papers with some executive looking guys about the project. So she can't technically be a part of Sarkar, Sarkar's background or whatever you call, you know. So if you try to make Aishwarya into Sarkar, you only get to know because there you don't have time to think in the course of watching Sarkar Raj before you could think it's over. But if you see her in the actual space of what Sarkar does, it will look very ridiculous.
I would like to interrupt here for a minute. I think that he's saying all these things because at time when he will very quickly make Sarkar 3 and we will be having a similar assembly and then he will give you completely convincing explanation about why this last scene of Aishwarya Rai, Ek Cup Chai La was correct. So don't get
So
bullied.
basically, she's saying a con man. That's what you're saying.
All filmmakers are con men.
Thanks. But if you should make Sarkar in London, I like that title. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. See, to answer the first question, if Balasaheb didn't exist, I probably still would have made an adaptation of Godfather, but I definitely wouldn't have made the way this film is. You know? The interesting point of Sarkar is if in such a cosmopolitan city that a very feudalistic attitude kind of a person can exist is what for me gave that tremendous liberty to create that atmosphere. You know? Probably I wouldn't have been able to do in this kind of a background. I could have dealt it in a corporate world or industrialist or maybe in a rural background I could have done. Now the second point is like why not on politics? That's what I'm doing. One is quite heavily to do with politics and media. The new film which I've just finished now. Now third question is the decline of the party or the man, whatever you're suggesting. For that you need to have those roots planted already in the films. If I intended to do that, I probably would have created those characters and made that, which I didn't. So I think if I try to do it now in Sarkar 3, I just would look, a lot of it could look forced. But see, I just, in fact, I was just answering this question. Aishwarya Rai is basically very vague in Sarkar. See, is she part of the violence? Is she part of running a violent organization? She just came there for a project and she just happened to get emotionally involved with Shankar. And after the death, Sarkar is looking after whatever happened and who killed, and she's continuing with the project. So I think for her to be adapted to the violent atmosphere, that is another separate film. And by Shankar not being there and Amitabh Bachchan's character being on the decline, if I tried to make Aishwarya there, I think it was another film. And I think we might as well make another film by having a fresh set of situations than trying to just do the best what we can in this.
1 second, now just concentrate. We will take last 6 questions. It was a very long question.
But are you saying that, just in one line that I'm romanticizing criminals, is that what you're saying? But human side, what do you mean by human side? Well, every character is eventually human, isn't it? Yeah, I got that question. That's what they call romanticizing a criminal, basically. See, the point is, if there's a bad guy and a good guy, the way you're saying society sees people, sees them, I think that's a very superficial way of looking at things. And in which case you will never understand the core of it, why that man behaves in a certain way. It's only when you understand you can create a solution. But by just saying someone is bad, I think that doesn't really address the problem. If in a movie like Satya, everyone dies, whoever takes the gun. So in spite of you getting emotionally involved with them, the fact that they met their end because of the decisions they took is a good enough point I try to make. Yeah. Are you an actor? Okay, I guess so. See, uh, if I take the question in two parts, the impact of the other characters being more, I think, is partly due to the fact that because they don't have images, you take them as real people. Whereas an established actor, I mean, the both Satya and Sarkar have different reasons. In Satya, if you do look at it, why Satya's character, the protagonist, doesn't come out as strongly, let's say, as a Bhikkhu Matre or a Kallu Mama or any of the others, is because I had a lot of confusion in treating his character. I wasn't too clear about what to do with him. So in one scene, it is just kind of slashing a guy with a razor. And another scene, he shoots somebody in cold blood. And another scene is shyly hugging Bhikkhu Matre. So all these scenes were shot in different days. And the story was his. Now, what is story of Satya? A man came, he got into the underworld, he was in love with this girl. At a point of time, he wanted to come out, it was too late. That's the story. So in this story, Bhikkhu Matre doesn't feature. He's what I call an atmospheric character. Because of that, they could afford to be consistent in the film, and that's the reason they made an impact. When you're following the story, and if Satya doesn't behave the way, you just get disconnected and you feel it is a performance. It actually is my fault in chiseling the character. Now, as far as Sarkar is concerned, like case in point is if Rashid comes to meet Sarkar. Okay? Now, the amount of time I gave for introduction, from the car coming in and coming up and girls sitting and everything, he looks bigger, almost bigger than Amitabh Bachchan, precisely because you don't know him. The unknown element is what which makes you tense. But if you have a character in that, if I cast a character who probably is a very good actor, but if you know him, you just watch him perform. You don't take him seriously. So I think different kind of films and different things, it would create different ambiances. Now coming to the third part, I said, what do I see in casting? Most of the time it will be, I will have certain reference in my mind about a character I already knew somewhere. And I look for a similar body language or similar look, or probably an actor who is intelligent enough to understand what I'm talking and who can adapt to that. So these will be the factors mostly I would take into consideration. Lines, what? Yeah, no, I won't go the lines. Yeah.
The lady in black in the third row. 1 minute. She's been waiting for a long time.
Just answer that. Yeah.
That's going to be the last question.
If you give a chance to a new filmmaker, do you believe in the guy or in the story? If you believe in the story, then why do you make films like Go?
First of all, I don't give chances, I take chances. Okay, but let me finish now. Second point is, why do I make a film like Go? I think they pretty much quite a long list. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Go is just one of a lot.
But Go is apart from all of this. It is something unique.
But again, the point is the same. Like each film, like I said, I gave this long explanation about Go also will have a similar story, but you won't be interested because I don't think rest of will be interested. So you can't waste their time. You come to my office, I'll tell you about Go.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you are one of the very few people in Bollywood who really follow their genres when they're making movies. So my question is, what's the reason? Is it that you're focusing on a particular type of the audience, or is it that you really want to do justice to the script?
I'm not sure I got your question.
So my question is that
Huh.
you're one of the very few people in Bollywood who really focus on genres when you're making movies. So what's the reason? Is it that you want to focus on a particular type of audience, or is it that you really want to do justice to the script?
See, the one and only reason I would do anything is just to satisfy myself. I never think of the audience. I just make a film what I want to see.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it.
Yeah.
No, everybody has a last question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really embarrassed to say कि I'm a film student. I know the way you look at film students, but I'm very like a student. So I was saying कि I'm your biggest fan. When I say biggest, I literally mean the biggest.
Did you like Ag?
I didn't like
Yeah, yes. Then you're lying. Okay, sorry, yeah, tell me.
So I was in whistling course.
Yeah.
So every time I used to talk about you in front of Subhash guy, and I could see him making faces every time, and he used to tell me, okay, next time you come up to me and like give an example of Ramu, don't, I'm like throwing you out of this institute. And every time this thing used to happen, I used to give example from your films all the time, all the time. He used to say, your work is like completely like Ram Gopal Verma, maybe you should show your films to him, he'll take you for sure, this and that. So it's like, I'm your biggest fan. I even have your wallpapers in my room, and I'm not kidding.
That's nice.
Yeah, ask the question, dude.
No, it's not a question.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, then.
Yeah.
it might be from the behalf of the whole India.
Yeah.
The thing is, people say Ramu has lost it. Okay? And when they say, I fight for you, like I'm against them all the time, and they hate me because I like you.
Hmm.
And I'm sure even you must be hating me because I'm your fan. Because you hate your fans, and I love it.
Why would I hate my fans? Hello. Yeah.
Say that in your blogs, right? So
Okay.
your target is 200 films you wanna make. So what I wanna say is that you go ahead with your 200 films, but I'm not saying make films seriously or anything, but just be sensible, seriously. Because little bit sensible. If you don't change your attitude, I'll be the happiest person because I'll say that's my Ramu who hasn't changed. But if you seriously change your attitude, I think you'll change the whole Indian cinema, and I guess you'll do something very extraordinary, and I think that's what people want from you.
Well, I gather that I gather that you love me. Thanks for it.
And I know you're very stubborn that in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Now we'll have.
See, I'm not. I just want to say.
Yeah, sure.
Say, I gather that you love me, and thank you for that. You see, it's not so much about being stubborn. I might say that for effect and all that. The basic point is, none of us have a choice in life except for doing what you think is right at that moment. And you are seeing the final effect of it, you or anybody else. What could have caused it or whatever, and I don't want to mention names. Like I said something, why is the media after you all the time? Why do people keep on negatively commenting about you? I said, if Sanjay Bansali makes Savaria, and for 1 month people blasting and say all kinds of things, and the next chance they will get to do that to him is in 2011. I'm giving a chance every 3 months. Okay? Second point is, if my job is to entertain people, let's say, as a filmmaker or whatever maker, film is a medium at the end of the day, right? The biggest flop and the worst film of my career maintained by everybody is ARG. Just imagine the entertainment I gave to people to bitch about it. What about that? I think that was much more than even my hit films. So expensive to whom? But that's the point. See, coming out and saying what a horrible is also emotion. You emotionally hated the film. That's the point. So eventually, Vinod Sharkin, the director, said, a film is an emotional experience. It makes you laugh, or it makes you cry, or it makes you scared, or it arouses hatred in you, which is what I think Arg has done. So great, thanks.
Yeah. we'll just have a poster of Godfather to be like, we'll just tear it up.
And all those who did not get an opportunity to ask questions to Ram Gopal Verma can write to him on his blog. Ramu?
That's it, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a marvelous audience. Your phone, where is his phone?
Okay, see you guys. Bye.